is a second video for you. Firstly, Ethiopia is going to launch 5G on Monday. Though not officially announced, but Ethio Telecom officials say that on the 9th of May, official launch of 5G is expected. Second news story is from Buffalo, New York, where a panel discussion was due to be held at Buffalo University. It was due to be held on the 26th of April. It was cancelled. Then the discussion was held a few hours ago. Why was it cancelled, and how was it held a few hours ago at Buffalo University? The panel discussion was about Tigray, Ethiopia, violence and famine in Tigray. Thirdly, UN Secretary General has backed African leaders' call for permanent representation at UN Security Council. At the start of this year, African Union leaders met in Addis Ababa, Ethiopian capital, and PM Abiy back then called for permanent seat for Africa at UN Security Council. Some other African leaders spoke as well, and UN Secretary General seemed to be backing Africa's call. Lastly, we have a new story about the Oromo Liberation Army. We know that a military campaign is underway against this armed group based in the Oromia region of Ethiopia. In a previous video, we shared a picture of OLA fighters standing in front of a school somewhere in Ambo town. Ambo is a key town in Vashava zone of Oromia region. Now we have received some on the ground information about where OLA is. Is it in Ambo? Or how far is it from Ambo? We have some details for you. Does it want to control Ambo? It's also a question which has been answered by some OLA-backed sources which we luckily got in touch with. Firstly, viewers, Ethiopia is to launch 5G on Monday. On the 9th of May, official launch of 5G network is expected. Ethio Telecom, state-backed telecommunication body, is launching 5G. Ethio Telecom is using Chinese technology. Huawei technology is being used by Ethio Telecom. Where will 5G be available in Ethiopia? Of course, this launch will be in limited areas. 5G will be available in some parts of Addis Ababa, Ethiopian capital. It will be available around Bole airport of Addis Ababa and the office of headquarter of Ethio Telecom as well, in the vicinity of these areas, and some other hotspots as well, which will be mentioned on Monday. Now, Ethiopia is the third country in Africa which has introduced 5G. Before that, Ethiopian launch of 5G, we have seen 5G launch in South Africa and in Kenya. Third African country to launch 5G network on Monday. Secondly, viewers, we know that a research center at the university, Buffalo University in New York, was due to hold a panel discussion at University of Buffalo. Baldi Center was the name of the research center at Buffalo University of New York. Topic of this panel discussion was violence and famine in Ethiopia's Tigray region. But the panel was criticized by some Ethiopians living in the US. The panel consists of those persons who are seen as pro-Tigray or who are official spokespersons like Getachew, then William Davison, Miaza, and fourthly, Professor Ezekiel Gabisa. These four persons were invited for panel discussion. Ethiopians contacted Baldi Center, and Baldi Center cancelled the event. It was due to be held on the 26th of April. But Tigrayan community and Amnesty International, they reportedly held this panel discussion at Buffalo University a few hours ago. It wasn't organized by university authorities, by Baldi Research Center. It was organized by some student body. Though it was held at Buffalo University, a virtual event, because Kata Shorada participated and William Davison also participated. Miaza has confirmed that panel discussion was held at Buffalo University. Topic was violence and famine in Tigray. But again, this discussion was not hosted, it wasn't organized by university authorities or by Baldi Research Center. It was organized by some students, some student bodies at Buffalo University. Thirdly, viewers, we have a new story about African leaders' demands for a permanent seat at UN Security Council. UN Security Council has 15 members. 5 are permanent members, the USA, the UK, China, France, and Russia. And 10 are non-permanent members elected for a period of 2 years. Africa has been calling for a permanent seat as well. No permanent member of UN Security Council is from Africa. Africa, with a population of around 1.3 billion, has no representation at permanent representation at UN Security Council. We have seen calls for this representation. Ethiopian PM Abiy spoke at the start of this year in Addis Ababa at African Union's Heads of State Conference held in Addis Ababa. There he called for permanent representation for Africa at UN Security Council. And we know that this year, Yoweri Museveni, Ugandan president, chaired a meeting in Kampala with participation of 10 African countries, and he, on behalf of 10 African countries, called for reforms, called for permanent seat for Africa at UN Security Council. So, African leaders have been speaking for this right. They say they have right. Obviously, they have a right. Now, UN Secretary General seems to be backing this call. He was visiting West African nations. He visited Senegal, Nigeria in recent days. He concluded his visit in Abuja, Nigeria. Then he was interviewed. During his interview, he backed African leaders' call for permanent seat, permanent representation. He said that though it was up to member states to reform, but personally he was in support of Africa's call for permanent seat at UN Security Council. Will permanent members agree to reform? That remains to be seen. Africa will have to put some pressure. Otherwise, I don't see permanent UN Security Council members agreeing to reforms. Lastly, viewers, Oromo Liberation Army, armed group based in the Oromo region of Ethiopia, shared some pictures from a place close to Ambo town a few hours ago. OLA fighters were seen standing in front of a school somewhere close to Ambo town. Now we have got in touch with some sources, very reliable, and they have informed us about on the ground situation. Where is OLA? Is it in Ambo? Is Ambo town under OLA? Some viewers asked questions as well about Ambo. Who is controlling Ambo? Ambo is in West Shiva. It's one of the most important towns in West Shiva, to the west of Addis Ababa. And we know that West Shiva has been the scene of heaviest fighting clashes between OLA and government forces since the start of this operation against OLA around a month ago now. What we have learned from our sources is that Oromo Liberation Army is in control of Tule. Tule is just 10 kilometers away from Ambo town. Tule is under OLA control. It has been confirmed by our sources. OLA says that it does not want to control Ambo. Why? Firstly, there will be urban combat. Civilians will be in danger if OLA tries to take control of entire Ambo town. That is why it's keeping its presence close to Ambo, like Tule, just 10 kilometers away from Ambo. And OLA says that still Ambo is under siege. Ambo was under siege even before the start of this conflict, before this operation more than a month ago. Still OLA claims that it is keeping the siege intact. It has its deployments close to Ambo. So that's what we have learned. Now, Ambo might not be under OLA control. It isn't, as has been confirmed. But even the presence of Oromo Liberation Army just 10 kilometers away from Ambo indicates that so far OLA has not suffered considerable losses after the start of this military operation, if their deployments are so close to Ambo. That is what I have been saying, that there might have been some withdrawals, some relocations, it happens, but we have not seen large scale withdrawal or retreat or losses suffered by Oromo Liberation Army. And their deployment close to Ambo is a confirmation that they are not retreating from West Shiva towards OLA. Thank you for watching.